Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is October 6th, 2022. It's on Thursday. It's cloudy outside today. It has got much colder today compared to yesterday. It has got much colder. What do you think of the method, the way of decision by majority? Are you in favor of decision by majority? Are you in favor of decision by majority? Please do me a favor. Could you do me a favor? Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask a favor of you? Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask a favor of you? Please do me a favor. Could you do me a favor? Please do me a favor. 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 Are you favoring him? Do you favor him? Do you favor the policy? Could you do me a favor? Could you do me a favor? Please do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you a favor of you? Can I ask a favor of you? Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask a favor of you? Can I ask a favor of you? Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Strawberry or orange? Which do you prefer? Which do you favor? This weather condition will favor the animals. This weather condition will favor the animals. Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Orange or apple? Which do you favor? Apple or orange? Which do you favor? Grape or peach? I favor blue to red. Do you favor me? Do you favor your boss? Do you favor your boss? I cannot favor the company. I cannot favor the food. I usually favor the quality. I usually favor the one with higher quality. Some people will favor the one with cheaper price. Some people will favor the ones with cheaper prices. Some people will favor the ones with cheaper prices. Which do you prefer? I prefer coffee to tea. I prefer to watch baseball than to play that. I'm in the reverse. I'm on the contrary. On the contrary, I prefer to play baseball game on the spot than to watch it on TV. Me too. Do you favor the music? Do you favor the educational system? Not many people might favor the current educational system. Not many people will favor current educational system. I think not many people will favor the current educational system. This examination will favor those who have prepared enough. Any examination will favor those who have prepared enough. Any examination favor those who studied and prepared enough beforehand. Any examination will favor those who have studied enough, prepared enough. Any examination should favor those who have prepared enough. Every examination should favor those who have prepared enough. Any examination will favor those who have prepared enough. Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Apple or orange? Which do you favor? Apple or orange? Which do you favor? The plan A or plan B? Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Which do you favor? Curry rice or omurice? Favor. Given the condition, given the situation, the match will favor the champion A. Given the situation and condition, the match will favor the champion A. Given the weight difference, the fight will favor the champion A. Some people are inclined to favor cheaper merchandises, reasonable merchandises. Some people are apt to favor cheaper prices, reasonable prices. Some people tend to favor merchandises with reasonable prices, reasonable prices. The conditions will favor the opponent B. The terms will favor the country A. The treaty favors the country A, and it works against the country B. Given the situation and the length of the experience, the match will favor the champion A. Given the length of the experience, the match will favor the champion A. The boy has been favoring the girl since they entered the university. The guy has been favoring the girl since they entered the high school. The boy has been favoring the girl since they entered the same high school. The girl has been favoring the guy since they entered the university. The guy has been favoring the girl since they entered the junior high school. The guy has been favoring the girl since they entered the same high school. Not many people are favoring the current educational system. Not many people are favoring the current educational system. Not many people are showing positive opinions in favor of the current policy. Not many people are favoring the current educational system. Not many people are favoring the government. Not many people are favoring the taste of the food. The guy has been favoring the girl since they entered the same junior high school. The girl has been favoring the guy since they entered the same university. The guy has been favoring the girl. The guy has been favoring the girl. The girl has been favoring the guy. The girl has been favoring the boy. 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 I cannot favor the current CEO, Chief Executive Officer. I cannot favor the current CEO of the company. Many citizens used to favor the Prime Minister at first, soon after he got in the office. Many citizens used to support and favor the Prime Minister at first. but the popularity of him started to decline, diminish, go down, reduce, decrease. The weather condition will favor particular animals. The weather condition will favor particular animals in terms of escaping from predators. The weather condition will work in favor of some animals, certain animals. Are you favoring the guy? Are you favoring the girl? Many students are favoring the teacher, very popular, enthusiastic teacher, who led many students to the University of Tokyo. Many students are favoring the enthusiastic teacher. Many students are favoring the enthusiastic teachers. Many students in the class are favoring the enthusiastic teacher. Enthusiastic teacher. Many students are favoring the enthusiastic teacher. Many students are favoring the enthusiastic teachers. Many students are favoring the enthusiastic teachers. Many students are favoring the teachers. The terms only favor the country B, and it work against the country A. The terms of the treaty are favor the country A. The terms of the treaty favor the country A. Considering the terms of the match, the match will favor the champion. Considering the terms of the match, it will work in favor of the champion. It will favor the champion it will favor the champion. Considering the terms of the match, it will work in favor of the champion. It will favor the champion. Given the terms of the match, it will favor the champion. Given the terms of the match, the situation, conditions of the match, it will favor the champion. Many audiences predict the match will favor the champion. Many audiences predict that the match will work in favor of the champion. The match will favor the champion. The boy has been favoring the girl. The boy has been favoring the girl. The boy has been favoring the girl since they entered the same high school. The boy has been favoring the girl. The company has been favoring the candidate. The company really wants to get the candidate to work at the company. The company has been favoring the candidate. The company wants the candidate to work for the company. Given the terms of the match, it will favor the champion A. Which is your favorite color? Which is your favorite food? What is your favorite thing to do? What are your favorite things to do? One of my favorite things to do is to sightsee. The candidates with English speaking skill are favorable. If you meet all of the requirements, you are very favorable. The candidates who meet all of the requirements are favorable. The candidates who meet all of the requirements are favorable. The candidates who meet all of the requirements are favorable. The candidates who meet all of the requirements are favorable. The candidates who meet all of the requirements are favorable. 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 Arriving at the destination at least 30 minutes before the start of the game will be favorable. Arriving at the international airport at least no less than 2 hours before the departure of the flight will be favorable. 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 The tax attorney found a couple of discrepancies in the accounting. The tax attorney found a couple of discrepancies in the account. The tax attorney found a couple of discrepancies in the calculation. Discrepancy. There were some discrepancies in the calculations. There were some discrepancies in the accounts. There were some discrepancies from his testimony and what he said beforehand. There are some discrepancies between the accused testimony and plaintiff's testimony. Discrepancy, discrepancy, discrepancy. The detectives are searching and investigating the discrepant testimony from both plaintiffs and the accused. Discrepant, discrepant. There are some discrepant testimonies from the accused. There are some discrepant testimonies from the accused. There are some discrepant testimonies from the accused, from the defendant. Discrepant, 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 discrepant. Discrepant, discrepant. Discrepant. Discrepant, 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 discrepant. The discrepant figures were corrected by the accountant. The discrepant figures were corrected by the accountant. The discrepant figures numbers were corrected by the accountants. The discrepant figures were corrected by the accountants. The discrepant figures were corrected by the accountants. The discrepant figures, the accountant said, are within the margin of error. Within the margin of error. The discrepant figures, the accountant said, are within the margin of error. Within the margin of error. Within the margin of error. Discrepant, discrepant. The discrepant figures, the accountant said, are within the margin of error. Within the margin of error. Discrepant, discrepant. The margin of the level between the professionals and amateurs is obvious. The margin of knowledge between the student A and student B was obvious, clear, evident, plain. Please park your car in the margin. The team A won the game by the margin of 2 points. By the margin of 2 points. By a margin of 2 points. The team A won the game by a margin of 2 points. The team A won the game by a margin of 10 points, by a margin of 3 points, by a margin of 4 points, by a margin of 5 points, by a margin of 6 points. Please fill out the margin below. Please fill out the margin below. Please fill in the margin below. You can use the margin for calculation. You can use the margin for calculations. 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 The margin of the points, the margin of the score between the team A and B was so huge. The team A lost the game by a margin of 5 points. The team A lost the game to the team B by a margin of 6 points. 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 Please write your name in the margin. Please write your name in the margin. Please calculate in the margin. Please calculate the figures in the margin if necessary. If necessary, please use the margin for calculation. If necessary, please use the margin for calculations. I used to write a lot of alphabets to memorize the words in the margin of the paper handed out by the teacher. I used to write a lot of alphabets. I used to write a lot of English words in the blank, in the margin to memorize the words. I used to write a lot of English words in the margin of the paper handed out from the passed out from the teacher. The margin of the skill at playing the piano between the student A and the student B was obvious. The team A won the game by a margin of 2 points, 2 scores. The team A won the game by a margin of 2 points, by a margin of 2 points. The team A won the game by a margin of 2 points, by a margin of 2 points. The team A won the game by a margin of 2 points. I used to write a lot of English vocabularies or words in the margin of a paper, of paper passed out from the teacher. I used to write a lot of English words in the margin of paper, in the margin, 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 in the margin. Margin, margin. When I checked my answer after the answer had been released from the homepage of the association, my score seems to have surpassed the passing grade. So after realizing that, I felt a marginal hope. I could feel a marginal hope because I thought I would fail from the examination easily, but my score seems to have surpassed the passing grade. So now I can feel a marginal hope. I can feel marginal hope. Marginal, 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 marginal hope. I can feel marginal hope. While I was taking the examination, I thought I would fail because the questions taught in the exam were so difficult, too difficult. I thought I would get less than 30%, but after checking the answer, I realized my score seemed to have surpassed the passing grade, so now I can feel a marginal hope to pass. Marginal, 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 marginal. There was marginal food left in the fridge. There were marginal tourists in the tourist spot after the pandemic. Since there was marginal time to sightsee around, so I just went to the typical famous spot. Marginal, marginal. There is a marginal hope to pass examination now. Marginal. There is a marginal hope to pass the examination now. Marginal, 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 marginal hope, marginal. I hope my English skill is improving, at least marginally. I lost the examination marginally. I often lost examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. I could survive marginally. I could survive marginally. I could marginally survive. I could survive marginally. 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 I could survive the night bath marginally. I could survive the night bath marginally. I could survive the night bathtub marginally. I could survive the night bath marginally. 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 I could survive the night bath 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 marginally. 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 I could eat all of the food marginally. I could eat all of the food marginally. I could pass examination 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 marginally. Marginally. I could pass examination. I could pass examination marginally. Marginally. I could pass examination. Pass. I could pass examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. 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 I could pass the examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. I could pass examination marginally. Honesty will pay off in the long run, I think. He believes that honesty will make good in the long run. Honesty. He always lives with honesty. He never tells a lie. He never tells a lie. He lives with honesty. 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 He believes that honesty pays off in the long run. I honest. Honest. To be honest, I didn't want to take part in the party. To be honest, I didn't want to participate in the party. To be honest, I was unwilling to participate in the party. To be honest, I was reluctant to join the party. I'm talking honestly. I'd like to know your true opinions. Honestly, 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 honestly. Can you honestly tell your opinions to your boss? Can you contradict your boss? Can you tell your true opinions to your boss honestly? People can be anonymous in the internet and say anything on the in the comments. People can be anonymous and tell many disrespectful things. Disrespectful things. Anonymous. People can be anonymous in the internet and say disrespectful things, which is not good, I think. People can be anonymous in the internet and say disrespectful things, which is not good. Anonymous, anonymous. The piece is composed by someone anonymous. The masterpiece was made by someone anonymous. Someone anonymous, anonymous. The piece was composed by someone anonymous. Someone anonymous. Some people are working anonymously. Some YouTubers are working anonymously. Some people are famous anonymously. Anonymously. Some YouTubers are famous anonymously. Some YouTubers are famous anonymously. 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 Some people are commenting disrespectful things anonymously. Some people writing disrespectful comments anonymously. Some people are writing disrespectful, rude comments anonymously. Anonymity. People can be anonymity. Anonymity. Some people write disrespectful comments with anonymity. Some people write disrespectful things with anonymity. Some people write disrespectful things, disrespectful things, disrespectful things, anonymity, with anonymity, 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 anonymity. Anonymity, 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 anonymity. Anonymity, 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 anonymity. Some people write disrespectful comments with anonymity, anonymity, anonymity. What are you concealing? It is sure that you are concealing something from the expression on your face. Your behavior is different from what it used to be. Your behavior today is different from what it used to be. What are you concealing behind you? Such huge discrepancies cannot be considerable. It is obvious. Such huge discrepancies cannot be considerable. Such huge discrepancies cannot be considerable. Such huge discrepancies cannot be considerable. Considerable, 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 considerable. Such huge discrepancies in the calculations cannot be considerable. Such huge discrepancies cannot be considerable. Some spots on my face cannot be considerable even with foundation. Some spots on the skin cannot be considerable with foundation. Considerable, 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 considerable. Is it considerable? Can it be considerable? It cannot be considerable. My tiredness was not considerable. Considerable, 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 considerable. Some injuries on my skin cannot be considerable with foundation. Public opinion should be heard, reflected, in the politics. On the politics, public opinions should be reflected on the politics. An opinion poll. According to opinion polls, most of the respondents are against higher tax. According to opinion polls, many people are struggling with higher prices of commodities. According to the opinion poll, many citizens are struggling with higher prices of the commodities. Opinion poll. An opinion poll. Opinion poll. According to an opinion poll, the citizens are struggling with higher taxes, prices of the commodities. The musician used to be unpopular, but thanks to advertisement by the famous YouTuber, he is now very popular. So the advertisement by famous celebrities are very important. The once unpopular restaurant now is very prospering, flourishing, thanks to the new way of leadership of the CEO and by incorporating new ideas into the policy of the company. The company used to be unpopular and not known to many people, but thanks to the leadership of the new CEO and by incorporating new ideas, the company is now flourishing. There are two types of companies. One is very popular. The others are unpopular. There are two types of things. Ones are popular. The others are unpopular. Unpopularity, 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 unpopularity. Unpopularity, 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 unpopularity. The company overcame its unpopularity by advertising a lot through the internet. The company got over the problem of unpopularity by advertising a lot through the internet. The company overcame the unpopularity by introducing itself through SNS. The company overcame its unpopularity through the internet. The company overcame its unpopularity through the advertisement. The company overcame unpopularity by advertisement through the internet. Unpopularity, 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 unpopularity. I, as well as you, am responsible for that. I, as well as you, like to have a day off. I, as well as you, want to have a paid leave tomorrow. So we have to decide. The set menu A as well as set menu B was eaten by her. She ate the set menu A as well as the set menu B. She ate the set menu A as well as set menu B. She could play the piano at the age of 2 years old. I passed the examination at the age of 24. I felt someone speaking at the back of me. Parents were observing the lecture at the back of the students. The security guards were observing the people's moving at the back of people. The engineers were controlling the sound at the back of the seats. At the back of the seats. Some speakers are hidden at the back of the screen. Some speakers are hidden at the back of the screen. I passed the examination at the expense of much of my time. At the cost of much of my time. I passed the examination at the cost of much of my time. At the expense of much of my time. At the expense of much of my time. I passed the examination. I passed the examination at the expense of much of my time. At the expense of much of my time. He achieved his goal. He achieved his goal at the expense of other colleagues. He should be ashamed of that. He achieved his goal at the cost of his colleagues. He should be ashamed of that. The company is now at the mercy of the CEO. The company is now at the mercy of the associate professor. The company is virtually at the mercy of the vice president. The company is virtually at the mercy of the vice president. The future will be at the mercy of the nature. The future will be at the mercy of the nature. The course the typhoon will take is at the mercy of the nature. The course that the typhoon takes is at the mercy of the nature. The course that the typhoons take is at the mercy of nature. The courses that the typhoons take are at the mercy of nature. At the mercy of, 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 at the mercy of. Future will be at the mercy of the nature. The company is at the mercy of the CEO. The company is at the mercy of the CEO. He said 1 million, the 1 million yen is at his disposal. At his disposal. He said the 1 million yen was at his proposal. At his proposal. He said the 1 million yen was at his proposal. At his proposal. The economy might be at the mercy of the rich. The economy might be at the mercy of the rich. Only few percent of rich. Only few percent of the rich. The economy might be at the mercy of the rich. The company is virtually at the mercy of the vice president. The company is virtually at the mercy of the vice president. At the mercy of. The company is virtually at the mercy of the vice president, not president. At the mercy of. 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 Some parents are at the mercy of their children, like buying them whatever they want. Some parents are at the mercy of their kids, like buying them whatever they want. I was surprised at the sight of the situation. I couldn't believe at the sight of my exam result. I lost my words at the sight of the situation. I lost my words at the sight of the situation. The fans started to scream at the sight of the musician. The fans started to scream at the sight of the musician. The fans started screaming at the sight of the musician. The flight has been cancelled by virtue of the inclement weather. The flight has been cancelled in virtue of inclement weather. By 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 virtue of. 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 in virtue of, 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 in virtue of. I refrained from going abroad by virtue of the pandemic. I cancelled my trip to a foreign country by virtue of the fearness of being infected with the virus. I cancelled my flight to a foreign country in virtue of the fearness of being infected with the virus. By virtue of, by virtue of, in virtue of, by virtue of, in virtue of. I try not to eat much of lunch by virtue of avoiding getting sleepy. I try not to eat much of lunch by virtue of feeling sleepy, in virtue of feeling sleepy, by virtue of feeling sleepy, in virtue of feeling sleepy. The sports meeting was postponed, put off, by virtue of heavy rain. The sports meeting was put off, postponed, due to inclement weather, owing to inclement weather, on account of inclement weather, because of inclement weather, by virtue of inclement weather, in virtue of inclement weather, by virtue of inclement weather, by virtue of inclement weather, by virtue of heavy rain, by virtue of torrential rain, by virtue of typhoon, in virtue of typhoon, in virtue of typhoon, by 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 virtue of typhoon, in virtue of typhoon, in virtue of typhoon, by virtue of typhoon, by virtue of typhoon, by virtue of typhoon, by virtue of typhoon, in virtue of typhoon, by virtue of typhoon. I predict, I presume many people refrain from traveling beyond the prefectures by virtue of the pandemic, in virtue of the pandemic. You can enter the room by means of pressing the password emailed in your address. You can enter the room by means of entering the password you got from the email. The dog knows how to enter the room by means of twisting the door. By means of twisting the door. The dog knows how to enter the room by means of twisting the door, by means of twisting the doorknob, by means of twisting the doorknob. The final destination of the flight is to London by way of Beijing. I went to London by way of Beijing. Many people will not challenge something crazy for fear of making mistakes or failure, for fear of failing. Not many people will not challenge for fear of failing, for fear of making mistakes, failing. Not many people will challenge for fear of failing. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.